Whose idea was it to boil sap on daylight savings time? So we're out here getting ready to do our maple syrup, first boil of the season. This season crept up on me fast. We're behind schedule big time. So this year I'm doing something unconventional for our practices here that we usually do at Gagne Farms. It's going to be a little bit different this year than what you guys have normally seen. I'm going to show that to you guys here coming up real soon. But first we had to go out here, check these buckets, make sure we've got sap that we can actually boil down today. Oh boy, there's sap in there. But guess what? Oh, it's not bad. Nature's RO. So we've had a good run the last few days here, and I'm pretty sure most of these buckets are probably quite full. Remember that we had only 26 buckets out this year, so quite a bit less than what we normally run, but still, yeah, if you guys ever boiled sap before, that's still a lot. Oh yeah, that's half full. Do have some ice in the buckets right now too, which that's fine. Okay, so first off, we have to get our evaporator set up because I don't even have it set up yet. We're gonna open up the barn, get the evaporator dug out, get it all set up, and start boiling because we gotta get on this now. It's gonna be a long day, I can tell. All right, we got our evaporator here. I just pulled it from the back of the barn in its storage location. I got it up here, and we need to do a little cleaning on it. It's been sitting. It's just a little dusty, so no problem. We're gonna get this guy set up though. This is roughly where I want to keep this evaporator for the season. I've got some fire bricks in here, and I just lean them up on the sides. I know there's lots of real cool videos of people that have fully insulated arches. This is not one of those arches, but it seems to get the job done. See, I just kind of lean them up sideways like that. And then typically I just take some of these broken pieces and just kind of set up on top. That helps, keeps some of that real hot, intense fire off of the sidewall of the oil tank. I'm gonna finish putting these fire bricks in here, and then we're gonna rotate this pan around. We're gonna clean it up, put our stack on, and we need to get boiling. All right, we got our stack on here, and I just kind of lightly wiped out the pan, but I'm gonna put some water in here, and I got a scouring pad, Scotch-Brite pad, sorry. I have a Scotch-Brite pad. I'm just gonna give it a quick once over here, and then we gotta get our gasket on. We'll seat this pan, and we'll start filling this guy up. This might seem silly, but I've actually got my water just draining into this bucket here. Otherwise, if I start draining out gallons and gallons worth of water right here, it's gonna get really sloppy and muddy and nasty. So I'm gonna catch that stuff and throw it in the woods quick. All right, the pan is all nice and cleaned up, and I just ran some water through it. I took a paper towel and just wiped it down as good as I could. I think it's good. So now we got to put our gasket on. This year I purchased new wood stove gasket. This is 5/8 diameter. It's a little bit bigger. So we're going to put this around on the bottom and then set our pan down on top of that to make a nice seal. All right, all cleaned up. Gasket's on. Boy, I like that gasket. I wish I would have got that a year ago. We need to go and collect some sap and get it over here in this pan. Hey, quick PSA here. If you guys got a ball valve on your evaporator pan, make sure it's in the off position before you start putting sap into your pan. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna grab sap off the closest trees here. And hopefully, since he's been in the sun most of the morning, they're a little thawed out. They're not bad. There's a little bit of ice in there. We're gonna get a couple of these going. I'm gonna try to roughly get, I'll probably just put these 4 buckets in to start. That's probably a good idea. It's not gonna be quite 10 gallons, but it'll be close. All right, it's on now. We've got sap in the pan. We can't go back, right? There's a little bit more ice in there than I intended, but that's okay. We're gonna boil this guy down. So now we gotta get a fire going and get this party started. Get this party started. Luckily, I had a little bit of wood left over here from last season. We're gonna burn this up because I want my wood pile out of the barn. It is nice and dry though. All right, we're getting going here. Boy, I love this time of season. It is so nice out today. We had super cold weather the last few days. Today it's supposed to be in the mid 50s, and that's partially the reason I'm doing what I'm doing here with this sap. I'll explain the whole process here in just a minute. Let's get this thing going, make sure we get a good rolling boil, and we're gonna go through everything that's going on here on this old evaporator here at Gagne Farms. Well, we're just getting a good rolling boil here. Still got a little bit ways to go till we get a full boil, but it's looking good. Fire's looking good here. Ooh, she's getting hot. See, we got it stacked all the way up to the top. Keep that door cracked. Okay, here's something else I'm doing. I've got my canner on a turkey fryer and hooked up to the propane, and I got a funnel with my strainer here. So what I'm gonna do is pull a bucket off the tree, get it preheating on the canner, on the turkey fryer, before I dump it into my evaporator so I don't lose a boil. You guys, I cannot stress any more than never lose your boil. If you lose that boil by dumping cold sap in there, it's gonna take you over half an hour just to get that thing back up and rolling again. So you don't wanna lose it. It's better to spend a little bit of extra fuel on a propane and the turkey fryer over here than it is to lose that boil. Okay, so we're gonna go out and grab a couple buckets and get them preheating. We're rolling right along here. We got our pre-warming sap going, and it's even evaporating just a bit. We got our main pan going here. Looking good, looking good. I probably could add a little bit more wood to the fire. It's looking good in there. Oh yeah. That's what you want, those flames right in the bottom of that pan. And I just usually crack that door a little bit. Yeah, buddy. Boy, it's a beautiful day out here. You guys are probably asking yourselves, hey, what's going on here with the whole evaporator? And usually I'm out collecting sap, putting them in IBC totes, bringing them up here, running them through my RO, running it through my pan. This year I'm not doing that. This year I'm not boiling as much sap and making as much syrup as I normally do. So we're probably going to have 2 boils. So this boil here and probably a boil next weekend, because it's going to be a real good running weekend. And we'll have to see how the weather goes. But so I wasn't going to run a whole lot of syrup this year. I didn't want to have to set up my whole RO system, run it twice basically, and use up 3 of the membranes, and then try to have to store them for a year. I did have new membranes I purchased and was getting ready to use them, and then I thought, you know, there's no point in running all that, running the whole RO system, dirtying everything up if we're only going to run 2 batches. So I'm kind of taking it back old school. This is raw sap, no RO, just taking it back to our roots and having fun with it. The last few years we made a lot of syrup, and I still have some syrup left over from last year. That's the main reason why I'm not making as much syrup this year. There's no reason to have 10 gallons of syrup on your shelf, you know? So we're gonna spend our time more wisely with other projects that we can do. So if we're not spending all of our time out here running all the syrup, because I've already got some syrup, I can spend more time on like cleaning the things in the barn, getting the garden ready, starting seeds, doing the couple projects that I have around here that I really need to get done yet, and the everlasting job of cutting wood. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm not disappointed. I'm actually happy that we get to just kind of take this back to, you know, how we used to do it. It's taking a little bit longer, obviously, because we don't have RO'd sap, but it's a beautiful day. I'm getting some things done while this is running, and just enjoying being outside. So we're gonna let this guy boil, and I'm gonna bring you along here probably for the rest of the day. I was gonna say, I pulled off the tree up front by the barn. I pulled sap off of 3 trees right here. So that's let's see, 2, 6, 8 buckets out of 26. I still got to go all the way out in the sugar bush and collect out there, and then I have my big runners on the other side of the house. I still have to get those yet too. And I know there's a tree right there that's got 2 5-gallon buckets hanging on right now. So we're gonna boil as long as we can today. Our weather has been all over the place this year. We've been, just the other day it was super cold, it was snowing. Now it's 55, and throughout all next week it's supposed to be almost touching 70. So when it gets that warm, I can't keep the sap hanging on the tree that long. So may have to take a day off next week and boil down and get rid of get that sap turned into some syrup before it spoils on the tree, because I don't like doing that either. But we might have a short season. I'd like to say that, well, it's been a weird year for weather, but I think I say that every single year. So I guess I'm not going to say that anymore. This year has been up and down for weather, and that's okay. We're just going to run with it. If we get a couple week syrup season, that's what we get. It's a couple week syrup season. Well, we're getting through it. I just got another, about 4 gallons into the pre-warmer, which is working out good. And I was just thinking, how many of you guys are actually still boiling right now? Because I've been seeing a lot of people that were actually wrapping up their season already. Are you guys still boiling? Let me know down in the comments how you guys are doing with your season. Ours is, like I said, this is our first boil here, but there might not be that many. So we've got, all I've got left at the front of the house here is 2 buckets. And I just looked, these 2 buckets here are almost full. And keep in mind, guys, those are 6-gallon buckets as well. So, but we are having what Joe from Youngblood Family Farms would say is a super run. These trees are gushing right now. So I'm guessing by midweek, I'm gonna have to do another boil. So we might get like 2 back-to-back boils going here, which that'll be fun. But yeah, we just I got these 2 buckets here. Oh, I lied. That's not full. That's half full. That's okay. I'll take half full buckets all day long. So I got these 2 buckets though, and we got the 10 out back, and I'm hoping there's enough daylight out here that I can get all this evaporated today yet. We got some friends coming over, guys, so we're gonna enjoy the rest of the day and keep boiling. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm gonna bring you along when we go to finish this off. We'll catch you guys on the next one.